My Lord and my God, I firmly believe that you are here, that you see me, and that you hear me. I adore you with profound reverence. I ask your pardon for my sins and the grace to make this time of prayer fruitful. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me. Does anyone remember Y2K? I was a junior in high school in 1999 when there was a lot of hype about the looming year 2000. Some people thought that it signaled the end times. Obviously, the start of a new millennium is a momentous occasion, it's huge. But there was a lot of panic and worry and conspiracy theories and speculation. This is from a recent article about Y2K. For a time, about 20 years ago, millions of people, including corporate chiefs and government leaders, feared that the internet was going to crash and shatter on New Year's Eve and bring much of civilization crumbling down with it. This was all because computers around the world weren't equipped to deal with the fact of the year 2000. Their software thought of years as 2 digits, and so when the year 99 gave way to the year 00, data would behave as if it were about the year 1900, a century before, and system upon system in an almost infinite chain of dominoes would fail. Billions were spent trying to prepare for what seemed almost inevitable. But then, when the end of the year did come, and midnight struck in time zone after time zone around the globe, almost nothing happened. There had been a mass of preparation and just as much panic. The story is a testament to how little we can understand of the strength or fragility of our vast information networks, and how even less we can understand of what the future holds at any time. And I remember very well hearing stories of people building bunkers underground, buying years' worth of MREs, meals ready to eat, storing up on dry goods and food rations for the long haul, acquiring more guns for protection. And it's not just Y2K. There are plenty of other instances in history where people have sought to guess the end times and prepare accordingly. There's been whole religious movements based on some calculation about when the world is going to end. Jesus, we're in the last week of ordinary time, and we've just come off of that great solemnity where we celebrated you as our King. Christ the King is a feast that reminds us to look forward, to look to the future, to Christ in majesty, and to our own judgment. All of the month of November is a kind of liturgical reflection on the future. We meditated on death, on judgment, on the last things, heaven, hell, purgatory, our personal judgment, the judgment of the world, the new creation. Right? It's very good for us to do this, for us to meditate on the future. It does us a lot of spiritual good. But I also see, Jesus, how sometimes we can obsess over the future and your promised return, and this can actually cause spiritual damage. We read in the Gospel of Luke, while some people were speaking about how the temple was adorned with costly stones and votive offerings, Jesus said, "All that you see here, the days will come when there will not be left a stone upon another stone that will not be thrown down." Then they asked him, "Teacher, when will this happen? And what sign will there be when all these things are about to happen?" He answered, "See that you not be deceived, for many will come in my name, saying, 'I am he,' and 'the time has come.' Do not follow them. When you hear of wars and insurrections, do not be terrified, For such things must happen first, but it will not immediately be the end. Notice the curiosity of the apostles. And it's an understandable curiosity. They have this concern about when the end will come, what signs will be attached to it, what signs should we be attentive to. Teacher, when will this happen? And we have the same question. And Jesus, you mentioned some of those signs. You say that there will be wars and insurrections, that there will be people who come in your name as deceivers. In another place, you call them antichrists. You speak of wars and rumor of wars, natural disasters, the persecution of the church, the persecution of Christians. Also large-scale apostasy, where many, many people will fall away from the faith. You also speak of false prophets. These are all clues, and we should be attentive to them, to the signs of the time. But they're also hard to decipher, and we can easily confuse one specific event as an indication of the end. But the fact is that we've done that so many times over history and failed in our calculations. The point is, we just don't know. It's in your hands, Jesus. And, with all these false alarms, people start to prepare, and they think they prepare accordingly by building bunkers. But what is the proper preparation? Is it having your bunker built and your supplies of food and candles and flashlights and electric generators stored away? How many MREs do you need? Perhaps all that may become necessary at some point. We should certainly be prudent and practical. But is that really the preparation that matters most? Or, Jesus, do you want us rather to be preparing our soul? What rations are we storing up spiritually for the return of the Lord? Whether that be at the end of time or at the end of our time, our personal time on this earth. Jesus, help us to be focusing on the right things. If we're prepared spiritually, then the rest is really of secondary importance and may be unhelpful to obsess over. There is the danger of a bunker mentality, where rather than trying to address the problems of this world, we seek to flee from them, to hide out in our bunker waiting for D-Day and lamenting the problems of this world. St. Josemaria encouraged us to sanctify the world from within, to get out there and to try to continue to carry out the evangelization, even when things look very dark. Jesus, we know that you want us to look forward to the end, to prepare ourselves, and to do so more than anything through our spiritual preparation. We can consider today what that preparation means for each one of us. Perhaps it means going to confession. Perhaps it means asking someone for forgiveness. Perhaps it means resolving once more to be more a soul of prayer, to take greater recourse of the sacraments. This is how we store up spiritual supplies, spiritual rations, so that when the time comes, we are facing the Lord and ready to receive him joyfully. I thank you, my God, for the good resolutions, affections, and inspirations that you have communicated to me in this meditation. I ask your help in putting them into effect. My Immaculate Mother, Saint Joseph, my Father and Lord, my guardian angel, intercede for me.